Dear students, we are back with our discussion on the design of facilities. In the previous interaction, we talked about the bus rapid transit facilities, where three type of elements, the corridor, the station and the terminal were discussed. In today's interaction, we are going to dedicate our time to the design of toll plaza facilities. Now, what is a toll plaza? Actually, toll plaza is a location where the vehicles which are using the facility in terms of a road being provided, they are coming at that location and they are being charged for the use of that road. Now, that road which is being constructed is going to be a high class road as compared to the alternate roads which are available in that area, which might not have been maintained to the utmost level, or the traffic on those roads is such high that it takes lot of time to reach the destination. So, people are going to prefer these high class roads, and when it is being constructed, it is a multi-lane system, divided system, the speeds are higher. Whatever the investment is being done so as to create that network, then the user fee is being imposed there. Now, these user fees are going to be different in terms of the different type of the vehicle users. If we have a truck or a bus, the charges may be different. If it is a car, then the charge is going to be further different. It may be lower than the bus or the truck. Now, whatever these charges which are being collected, they are basically coming in terms of a revenue, and this revenue is trying to subside the investment which is being done on the construction and operation of this facility. So, it may happen that this facility or the road system which is being constructed may be for next 50 kilometers from this location, that is being done by a company, it is not being done by the public agencies or the government, and therefore, now this company is interested to get the money back, and that is where the user fee is being imposed for the use of those 50 kilometers which have been constructed by this company. Similarly, if the next 50 kilometers are being constructed by some other company, then there is going to be another toll plaza in that sense, but as far as possible the toll plaza should be as less as possible all along the network. Now, when we are planning these type of systems and when we say that the revenue is being generated by way of the user fee, it is not going to happen in one day. Whatever the money is being invested, that is not going to be there in one day. It all depends on the number of vehicles which are using this facility, and this is keeps increasing every year, and that is where in certain total years this is going to be collected. So, this type of an arrangement is going to be there for next 15, 20, 25 years or so. Now, let us see this interchange which is a Duhai interchange, is a clover leaf on two quadrants, it is a quite good one clover leaf, but in the other two cases what you can see is a constrained clover leaf is there. Now, when you have this type of a facility, two good quality of roads of same specification, they are crossing each other, high speed movements are there, when the people are using this, the vehicles are using this, then the toll is going to be collected, and we have to identify the strategic location of the plaza, so that when the vehicle gets in and out of that system, they are being charged. So, here what we can see is that there is one being provided here, there is another one provided here. So, likewise the toll plazas have been placed so that we can get the money out of those users who have utilized this facility. So, all of these things has to be seen in a sense that what is the in and out of the system. So, that particular location is to be identified. Say this is a Delhi Meerut expressway, here also we can see that this is one location, there is another location here, then we have one location on this highway itself which is going in this direction. So, again these have been placed in a manner strategically, so that the movements are controlled, in and out movements which are there, nobody is escaping the fee. At the same time, this one on the main highway is probably defining that one section is being constructed by one company and another section is being constructed by another company, and that is where the toll is being charged on this highway, not at the entry and exit of this highway. Now, this is a aerial photograph of Shahjahanpur toll plaza, where what you can see is the width of the road, which is something like 4-lane divided or a 6-lane divided system, has now changed to a big land which is having multiple lanes. you can see the number of lanes here and similarly the number of lanes on the other side. At the same time, there is some additional land which is visible here. So, this means when you are at a toll plaza, so lot of land is to be acquired. Here in this one, this is another location, that is Chapar Toll Plaza, and what we see is that we have two such locations so as to collect it at the same stretch here within few 100 meters. The reason is that the total width which is required so as to construct this toll plaza at the same location is not available. That is why the traffic which is coming from here is being charged like this, and the traffic which is coming from here is being charged in this form. So, we have a wider facility here and a wider facility here, and that is the way it is being managed. So, there is a possibility of having a staggered way of collection too. Now, when you look at this one, what you found is that this is the total extent, this is additional land which is available, this is an operational area, and here we can see the queue of vehicles. Some of the lanes clearly showing that they are being utilized by the heavy vehicles, some are having cars or the mixed conditions. So, there is a possibility that the lanes are being defined by vehicle type. So, they can be say the commercial vehicles only, cars only, and so on. Here this is another photograph towards the front of it, we can see the number of lanes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 8 lanes are there being used here in one direction, similarly from the other direction. So, this is the widening which is there. So, it is 16 lanes plus the additional facilities which are being provided for the charging. So, together they are going to be quite a wider area being occupied at this level, acquired at this level. This is just at the location where the charges are going to be there. So, we can see the various types of entities or the components. So, we have a canopy at the top here, we have the information with respect to the lane, how it is going to be utilized. We have the toll booth, so where the toll is being collected. Then there are system being designed in terms of island, in terms of the delineators, in terms of the signs, in terms of the protections to the booth, so that any out of control vehicle should not hit the booth and create any fatality to the person who is walking there. There is a boom barrier. So, it is vehicle has to stop by this point, and then once the toll is collected, then only this barrier goes up and the vehicle can move forward. So, all of these things are the part of a toll plaza. So, when we say the location of a toll plaza needs to be looked at, then this is going to be decided on the basis of the amount of land which is required and the availability of that land at a location. Then we also need to look at the traffic which is going to be there at that location of the toll plaza. It is in terms of the volume, and this volume is going to define that what number of lanes we need to have for one direction, and entry and exiting traffic is also needs to be looked at. So, what are those locations where these entries or exits are going to be there, and whether they are the positions or the locations where the toll plaza should be provided. Visibility is another aspect, that it should have a clear view from a long distance, so that the driver knows that we are approaching the toll plaza. Of course, the information signs are going to be placed for that reason also. Then they should be away from those locations where certain type of interferences can be there, say near to the intersection or the entry or exit point, very near to that, or from the urban areas where the lot of development is there. If we can have it away from this, then it means there is always a possibility of having the separation of the through traffic and the local traffic. So, that is also there, and then the terrain also needs to be looked at. So, if it is flat, it is fine, and when we are looking at this terrain condition, then also one risk of flooding or submergence also has to be taken care of. Now, when we say that we are looking at this location where a lot of traffic is coming, then the projection of traffic has to be also taken into consideration, and this projection is being done for 20 or 25 years, 20 years in general, but on an expressways it is 25 years. and for that particular time period what is going to be the traffic, accordingly we are going to know that what number of lanes will be required in future. Today it may be workable with 3 lanes in one direction, but tomorrow it will become 6 lanes in one direction. So, we have to acquire that much land today itself. As we have seen in one of the photographs, the aerial photographs, there was an additional land which was there, and that has been acquired because there is going to be a requirement in future for that much. If it is not being done today, tomorrow it is going to be occupied by different developers and we will not be getting the land for the expansion. So, revenue collection period is also being decided based on this. So, we may have 20 years period, 25 years period to do that, but in few cases we can work with 15 years if we have to go to a stage construction. So, that is the limit being decided. Now, when this land is being acquired, then it is not only the traffic for which we are acquiring the land, that means we are going to provide the lanes through which the traffic is going to move. We are also requiring other things, associated features, and those associated features are in terms of the administrative building, in terms of the toll collection system, as in one of the photograph is being shown, there is going to be a toll booth, there is an island, there are a boom barrier, etc. Then we may also need to provide the resting and relaxing places for drivers and passengers. If it is a long distance travel for many, then they may like to take a stop at this location. So, for that reason there should be eateries, there should be toilets, there should be various other facilities being provided. Medical assistance or crash assistance is also to be made available at these locations. There may be a requirement of the weighing bridges, because many of the vehicles, if they are coming with overloaded conditions, then they have to be taken care of. So, this is a location where the thing which has to be provided to take the weights and identify whether it is okay or they can be allowed to move or not. And along with this, if we say that we are talking about overloading, then some material has to be taken out, and if this some material is being taken out, then this has to be dumped or stored at one location. So, that space is also required. So, here you can see that there is a road system which is something like a 4 lane 6 lane divided system here, traffic is coming or going here. But when you come to the central portion of this whole plaza system, then you have lot many lanes. So, if we go by this, we may found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 lanes in one side being provided. So, the 2 lanes have converted into 7 or 8 lanes in one direction. There are additional facilities which are being provided on the side of this plaza. There are weighing facilities being provided at either of these sides, and along with that the storage facilities are also being provided, because if there is some material which is offloaded, then it has to be stored. Then there are different other facilities like the resting area, petrol pump, or the maintenance unit for the vehicle. All those things are also going to be there in all of this area. So, this is showing us that what is the total requirement of an area at any location. Now, when we say that we are going to talk about the lanes and the number of lanes which needs to be provided, now the decision is being taken on the basis of the lane capacity. And lane capacity is going to be defined the way the toll collection system is being devised for that lane. If it is a manual system, then the person will take out the money, will give the money to the personnel at the toll booth. Then there may be exchange of money also, there may be change of the ticket being issued, and it will take time. If it is a smart card system and a card is to be given, and then the person will swap the card and will give it back. So, again some time is going to be lost in that. Or it can be a simple electronic system where the vehicle arrives, there is a RFID tags, they have been read, the charge is being deducted and the vehicle moves. No intervention in terms of a manual work is there. So, we may have a semi-automatic system, automatic system and electronic system. When we say semi-automatic system, then here automatic vehicle identification and manual transfer is there, which causes the capacity as 240 vehicles per hour. But when it changes to a better money transfer like a smart card, then it is 360 vehicles per hour. And if it is a total electronic system, then in that case even the vehicle may need not to stop also. if the system is so good and that form, it can be 1200 vehicles per hour. Now, when we say that this is a capacity, now how it is being decided? It is being decided on the basis of the service time. So, vehicle arrives at a toll location, there is a barrier. So, the toll is being collected, the barrier goes up and the vehicle moves. How much time it takes? So, that is the way it is being decided. So, this is one thing which is to be taken care of, and another thing which is being considered is when there is going to be a queue of vehicles, then what is the waiting time for this vehicle so as to reach here and get serviced. So, this waiting time should not be more than 3 minutes in any case, and if it is getting 3 minutes or more, then more lanes should be operated for the collection of toll in that direction, and the waiting time should be brought below 3 minutes. Now, when we are looking at this service time, as I said, now this service time per vehicle, it should not be more than 10 seconds per vehicle during even the peak flow. And this service time along with the rest of the things are going to define that how many lanes have to be provided, and of course, for each lane there is going to be a toll booth. Now, when we are providing these 7 lanes, 8 lanes or 10 lanes in one direction, then how they are being designated? They are going to be a cash lane or a smart card lane, or it is going to be a ETC lane, or it is also going to be a lane which is for the oversized vehicle. The big vehicles which are having more sizes as compared to the lanes being designated in some form. So, when we are looking at this, what it says is that the 2 toll lanes in each direction of travel, they should be designated for smart card pavement. This is one thing. Then it says that 1 lane per direction, it should be upgraded to ETC lane as and when there is a requirement. So, that sort of features should be there on that lane, and not less than 2 middle lanes shall be capable of use as reversible lane. Now, what is this reversible lane is that the lanes have been provided like this, and there again there are lanes which have been provided like this. So, when the traffic is quite high here, it may happen that these 4 lanes are not adequate enough to cater or to give the service in terms of the toll collection. So, what we can do is that this lane can be utilized again in this direction. So, this central lane is being now transformed into a reversible lane. So, this flexibility should be there, and there is one additional lane on either side which is for over dimensioned vehicles, and this one is the extreme lane towards the curb side or the shoulder side. Now, when we look at the width of these lanes, then the width of these lanes in terms of manual and smart card, it is 3.2 meters. For ETC lane, it is 3.5 meters. For over dimensional vehicle, it is 4.5 meters. So, in this sketch, the things have been shown. What we can see is that this is a ETC lane. So, therefore, these ETC lanes, they are 3.5 meters wide. Then we have the smart card lanes, which is 3.2 meters wide. So, this is a smart card, and then the oversized vehicle lane, which is 4.5 meters, and the same way it is being provided on the other side also. So, this is how the lane arrangement has been done. So, the through traffic which is coming in this form, which is going to use the ETC lane, means this traffic will keep continuously moving at a faster rate as compared to the lanes which are being provided towards the shoulder. Now, when we have these lanes, then these lanes are going to be separated by use of traffic islands. You can see here that the traffic islands have been provided. They have been perfectly marked by way of use of colors as well as the pavement markings. So, when we are using these divisional islands, they should be 1.8 meters wide and 25 meters in length. Protective barriers needs to be provided. So, we can see that this is the concrete the barriers have been provided here. So, for the safety of the booth. So, concrete barriers are there, then the traffic impact attenuators are also being provided, So, all of these things are there so as to ensure the safety. The nose is also being protected by way of the object markings, by way of the chevrons. So, reflective markings or chevrons are going to be provided. So, they are also there, and when we are looking at these chevrons, then they are minimum 15 meters long in front of the nose of this island. So, we can see here that we have this island. On the top of this island, the toll booth is being provided. So, from this point, this is the center of it, and the total length of the island is being given here, which is 25 meters. In front of that, we are having chevron markings which are 15 meters long. So, this is how the arrangement has to be done. Now, let us talk about the another element, which is toll booth. Now, in the case of a toll booth, they are going to be at the top of the island, which are used as a divisional islands, and the width of the island was 1.8 meters. So, the size of the booth is 1.2 meters wide and 2.5 meters long, and they are constructed by use of the prefabricated materials, and there are different items which needs to be made available within the toll booth. And what are those things? Maybe the sitting area for a person, the computer, the toll collection system, printing machine, so that the slip, if it is to be issued, can be issued, CCTV camera, telephone, connectivity, all those things they needs to be there, and if possible then the climate control system can also be there. Now, when we talk about this booth which is being provided at the top of a island, then there is going to be a window through which the person is going to view, and the height of this window is 0.9 meters from the top of this island. So, this is window, and this transparent area has to be provided all along on all the sides, so that if there is anything happening inside is visible from outside also. Traffic impact attenuators or the boom barriers, they needs to be provided on either of the side of this booth. So, here you can see that there is a booth here, it is being provided on an island. So, there is a concrete barrier at this side, there is a steel barrier which is also working as a impact attenuator. This is a window, which window is at a height of 0.9 meters, this width is 2.5 meters, and here this is 1.2 meters. So, the entry and exit is being provided from this side. There is a boom barrier here, and this boom barrier is synced with the toll collection system. So, as soon as the toll is being collected, then this barrier is going up. So, this is an arrangement which needs to be there at each and every toll plaza. Now, let us look at the design features here, few other things. The movement between the toll office and the toll booth, that is also an important thing, because if the money is being collected in the new system, everything, if it is going through the FASTag, if it is an electronic system, then this is all virtual money. So, it is directly getting into the account. But if any money is being taken manually due to any of the reasons, then this has to be taken to the administrative building, and that has to be ensured in a safe and secure environment. For that, there used to be an underground tunnels, or there used to be a secure system which is at a level of the toll booths itself. So, this is one another thing which has been maintained. Then another thing which is maintained is the lighting and the ventilation. Then the tunnel, if it is provided, which now is becoming defunct, is the 3 meters wide and 2.5 meters high. The weigh in motion equipment, if it is installed on the lane itself, the toll lane itself, then what is going to change? The change is in terms of the length of the traffic island, which becomes 35 meters long instead of 25 meters, and out of these 35 meters, 22.5 meters they are provided towards the approach side. So, if we have the median like this, and there is a toll booth being provided this way. So, this is what we are saying, this is 22.5 meters, and this is going to be 12.5 meters. So, total is 35 meters, and when the vehicle comes here at this location, the weighing bridge is going to be provided. Then, as I told that if there is going to be an overloading condition, then whatever extra material is there, it has to be offloaded, and if it is offloaded, then it has to be stored. So, that space is also required. The total pavement area of the toll plaza is of concrete pavement, firefighting systems have to be there. Now, when you are talking about this system and it is based on like this, that means this 4-lane or 6-lane system is being widened. So, there is a transition here, and this transition rate can be 1 in 20 to 1 in 10. In the case of expressways, the entry and exit of the toll booth, the rate of taper for carriageway of expressway and ramp, they are 1 in 25 and 1 in 15 respectively. So, these are the values at which all of these things are being done. Now, surface and subsurface drainage systems also needs to be given due consideration. There should not be any ponding of water and of all of this total area, which is quite big. Now, wherever the toll booth has been provided, at the top of the toll booth is a canopy. Now, the point here is, though this height is quite high, but still, because it is being extended onto either of the sides of that toll booth in terms of a longitudinal direction. So, it is going to provide some of the weather protection, and this weather protection may be for the drivers or maybe for the toll operators. Now, whatever this canopy is being designed, this is also an important issue. It should look aesthetically pleasant, and because it is a big structure, so the columns are going to be there. Now, these columns can be placed on the traffic islands, and they should not create any visibility constraint, and this is going to happen if and if they are being provided on the traffic islands. Now, when we have this canopy and when these toll booths which are working 24/7 and continuous movements are also there, then during the night time the illumination is another important aspect, and this needs to be taken care of. Now, there are different type of illuminations. One is the high mast lighting, which is 30 meters above the surface being provided. Then the another one is the lighting on the approaches of this toll plaza. So, this illumination has to be 40 lux, and this is provided in a form that say if we are talking about this. So, this is a location. So, at this location if I make it, then this is the pole which is 10 meters long, and then there is a light being provided. So, here the light is coming. So, this is 2 meters of overhang. So, this is how it is being designed. And when we are talking about these lights, then they are going to be provided on the different sides of this, and these are being placed at 50 meters staggered spacing. So, when we say 50 meters, that means this is not here, this will come at this point, and similarly at here. So, this is going to be 50 meters and 50 meters. So, at every 100 meters on one side you are going to have one that pole, and these lights they are going to be provided for a minimum of 500 meter length on either side of the toll plaza. The lighting at the canopy level, it should be have an illumination of 100 lux. The buildings, the toll booths, etc., they are also going to be lighted. So, there may be a 200 to 300 lux of illumination available on those areas. This is how during the night they are going to look like. You can see that there is a high mast here, there are canopy lights being provided here. So, all of these things are being perfectly done, so that even during the night time the operations keeps going in a perfect right manner. Now, one another thing which needs to be taken care of is the placement of the different signs and markings. We have seen some of the markings in terms of the object markings, in terms of the chevron markings which have been provided, or the lane markings which are being provided. There are going to be a stop sign, and one of the photograph we have seen that also, which was placed just at the start or the nose of the island from the direction from which the traffic is coming. Apart from that, the advance information has to be given, and this information may start at say 2 kilometers, 1 kilometers and 500 meters, stating that you are approaching a toll plaza. It can also be there in terms of that now you are on a road which is a toll road. So, that type of information can be there. The information on the rates which are going to be charged for different category of vehicles, the vehicles which are exempted or the category of persons who are exempted to pay the tolls, that is also there. Overhead lane signs are there which defines that this particular lane is an ETC lane or a smart lane, or it is for those vehicles which are oversized. And then there can be a toll fee by vehicle at the toll booth location. So, that is also going to be there. So, as soon as you have missed that what is the charges, you have not looked at it, now as soon as you reach that location, then you can find it out again. So, this is how it looks like. The different type of informations has been provided when you are approaching the toll plaza. Here you can see that what are the various rates which needs to be given for a single journey or a multiple journeys, they are being defined here. Then this says that you are having a toll plaza at 2 kilometers ahead. So, the driver is getting now adjusted with respect to that, the speeds have to be controlled. This says only 500 meters ahead, it is now being left. Now, this one says that there is a toll road now. So, when you are moving from this point onwards, that means you are on a toll road. So, this is being told here. Here a very good way of designs, you can see on the pavement markings are there, chevrons, object markings, clearly defining where, for what reason, the what type of vehicle can go. So, this is also an important aspect of overall design. Here now these bars are being provided when you are approaching the toll plaza, and these bars defines that you are reaching something for which you have to control the speed. So, this is how they are being placed. So, they are like 300 mm wide at a spacing of 300 mm. So, either 2 bars or a 3 bar systems are going to be there. So, up to this there is a 3 bar and then the 2 bar system, and then you have the chevron markings and the islands. Now, let us talk something about the toll collection. Now, when you are looking at toll collection, we have discussed about that there are possibilities of taking a cash or it can be through a smart card, but nowadays now we are more focused on the FASTag or the electronic toll collection. Now, in the case of semi-automated system, what is going to happen is that there is always a camera which is taking continuous flow into account, and therefore, the counting of the traffic is there, and that categorization of that traffic is also going on at the back end, and it is also going to look at the number of axles. The tickets issues which are being issued on the basis of the amount either being given in cash or through card is being collected at the toll booth, and then with the press of a button a ticket is going to be issued and that is going to be given to the driver. So, as soon as this ticket is being issued, then this barrier, it is electronically operated, it just goes up and gives path to the vehicle. But when we are looking at the electronic toll collection, then few other things are going to be there. One thing is the on-board unit on the vehicle, that means either in terms of a tag which is a RFID tag, and then there is a reader which is going to read that and gives the information to the server and validates it, and then the amount is being deducted, and as soon as the amount is being deducted, then the boom barrier will go up and the vehicle will be allowed to move forward. So, here again the another thing which will be there is the vehicle counting and classifier system, because the total traffic is still going to be monitored, and the user fare is also being displayed that you are being charged so much and now you can go ahead. So, this is how it looks like. Then there is a card reader, there is a card at the front screen here of the vehicle that is being read, and as soon as it is being read, now it allows the synchronized system allows that this barrier goes up and this vehicle will be moving. At the same time, there is a CCTV camera which is recording it. It is in actual, you can see there is a camera here which is reading this tag, and as soon as it is being read, then it gets operated and the barrier which is being provided is going up here. So, this is how the overall system looks like. So, the last thing in this is that the complex, the toll plaza complex which needs to be provided. Now, when we say this toll plaza complex, then whatever the initial things we talked about for which the land is to be acquired other than the lanes and the toll collection system comes here. So, we need an office building which is dedicated to the administrative staff. There are rooms for the monitoring of the traffic, for meeting, for toilets, the sale of passes, etc. There can be a some people who can interact with the public, because if it is so required, the room to keep cash, there is a security van which is to be kept, there is a space for the parking of the vehicles, then the rest spaces are there. So, these resting places for the drivers, for the passengers, eating places for them, these are going to be there. So, you can see here one such thing, there is an open area here where people can enjoy their time. There is a restaurant here, there is a fuel and vehicle repair, the tire shop, the breakdown of the vehicle if it has happened, then that mechanic shop is there. There can also be a motel, there is a parking area being dedicatedly provided, or the sitting area or the shops are also there. So, people can enjoy food etc. at this location. So, along with this, then this going to be spaces for the administrative works. So, all of these together they are going to form the complex for the toll plaza. So, this is how the various components of a toll plaza are going to be designed and executed and operationalized. With this, we close our interaction now, and we are going to talk about the pedestrian subway and overbridges in our next interaction. Till then, thank you and bye.